लाइक जैसे अगर हमको नॉर्मल कोई एक डिजिट दिया है, लाइक 19 दिया, उसमें 3 से मल्टीप्लाई करना हुआ तो हम 3 बार ऐड कर देते हैं, 19 प्लस 19 प्लस 19, लाइक एक एक्यूमुलेटर में स्टोर कर देते हैं एक बार, और उसको बी रजिस्टर में फिर 2 बार ऐड भी कर देते हैं, तो वो तो हो जाएगा मैम। बट अगर हमको 19 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 20 करना हो तो उसके लिए प्रोग्राम थोड़ा सा समझ में कम आ रहा है मैम, वो
अच्छा,
कैसे हो सकता है?
कर लेंगे, इसको भी डिस्कस कर लेंगे। यही थोड़ा सा लिमिटेशंस है 8085 का, क्योंकि बिकॉज यू डोंट हैव मल्टीप्लिकेशन एंड डिवीजन इंस्ट्रक्शंस, सो दैट्स व्हाई
यस मैम,
विल
लाइक या तो
हाँ, that's why later the 8085 was the second microprocessor. First was Z80. So that's why later on then other microprocessors they had to be developed, like 8086 microprocessor, because it handles 16-bit data. Then you again we have gone through the microcontrollers. So in those particular microcontrollers etc, you have mul instruction, div instructions. So with these instructions it becomes very easy to for write this particular programs. But with 8085 microprocessor ऐसा नहीं है कि प्रोग्राम नहीं लिख सकते, बट इट टेक्स टाइम, यू हैव टू राइट द
यस
लेंथी
मैम,
प्रोग्राम,
यहाँ
इट
पे या
टेक्स
तो हम
टाइम।
19 को 20 टाइम्स ऐड करें या तो 20 को 19 टाइम्स ऐड करें,
हाँ, या
तो
कर
मैम
सकते
बार
हैं
बार
ऐसा।
वही सेम इंस्ट्रक्शन रिपीट होगा।
नहीं, नहीं होगा रिपीट। आपको क्या करना है, आपको एक काउंटर लगाना है 20 का, और
यस
आपको
मैम, या
90 लूप
इसके बाद
चलाना है।
जंप इंस्ट्रक्शन के थ्रू कर
हाँ,
सकते हैं।
जब
यस
आपका
मैम।
जब काउंटर आपका 0 हो जाएगा तब तक आप ऐड करोगे उसको, ठीक है ना?
यस मैम, क्लियर हो गया।
तो कोई, हाँ,
यस मैम।
कोई मतलब डिफिकल्ट नहीं है, बट और माइक्रो प्रोसेसर एग्जीक्यूट्स एवरीथिंग इन माइक्रो सेकेंड्स, सो नो प्रॉब्लम। लाइक फॉर अस इट सीम्स टू बी दैट कि 19-20 बार ऐड कर रहा है, बट फॉर माइक्रो प्रोसेसर इट इज अ जॉब ऑफ माइक्रो सेकेंड्स।
यस मैम।
ठीक है ना? So shall we start now?
थैंक यू
Almost
मैम।
34 students have joined, 33, 34. So let's start with today's session today. So for programming, like whatever instructions we have done, those are sufficient to write most of the programs, and you have to practice, because unless until you practice with the programming, that's why what I did, I completed major instructions, so that, and every day I will give you 2 programs to as a assignment, so that while writing those programs you will develop the habit of writing the 885 programming, you will get 885 programming practice. So today we'll see, can you see my screen properly, because these are handwritten notes?
यस मैम।
Can you see? Yeah. So today, because today we'll see memory mapping and input output devices mapping. So because these diagrams were little difficult for me, I couldn't draw that properly in time. So what I did, I'm using my handwritten notes. So just let me know if you are not understanding at anywhere, any part. So shall we continue with this? We all know that like inside microprocessor, what we have inside microprocessor, arithmetic logic unit is there, register array is there, and some control unit is there with control signals. And then outside we have system bus. System bus includes your address bus, control bus, and data bus. And we can then we can connect input output devices externally, because microprocessor inside doesn't have any input output device or any memory device. And you can connect ROM or EEPROM or RAM, random access memory. So this is the way you can work with by external devices, you can work with microprocessors. So we'll see how to map this particular devices. Changing, my screen is changing. Yeah, okay, it's changing now. So we all know that you have to what are the operations in microprocessor. Memory read operation is there, memory write operation is there. If you are reading from the memory, you are reading from the EEPROM, then you are using memory read. This is memory read operation. When you are doing writing onto the RAM, you are writing some program into the RAM, feeding some instructions, then it is memory write operation. And when you are reading some input output ports, then it is read operation, IO read operation. And when you are writing it onto the port, then it is write operation. So this is the way your program 885 your program works. Cycles are there in instructions. So we all know that we have accumulator, we have 6 register general purpose registers B, C, D, E, H, L. We have 5 flags: carry flag, zero flag, sign flag, parity flag, and accumulator. And 16-bit register as program counter, which is
मैम ऑक्सिलरी कैरी फ्लैग होगा ना?
हाँ, ऑक्सिलरी कैरी फ्लैग है, ये है ना पैरिटी ऑक्सिलरी कैरी.
यस मैम.
AC है ना. And this flag status is available in PSW, program status word. Okay, so this is the way. This is just a revision of what we have done last class. So yeah, we'll see some. Last time you were asking, Sakshi was asking about S0, S1. These are the status signals, and control signals we have, like arithmetic and the ALE address latch enable, which demultiplex your lower address bus from AD0 to AD7. From AD0 to AD7 bus is demultiplex to A0 to A7 and D0 to D7. So this job is done by ALE address latch enable, that we have seen in first or second lecture. Then we have read bar signal. This is active low signal. So whenever this is low, it is read operation. Microprocessor is reading the data. Whenever it is high, it is not the read operation. And again, write bar signal is also active low signal. So whenever this signal is low, microprocessor is writing from its side to memory. And whenever it is high, it is not writing. And then you have another control signal, that is IO M bar. So if it is high, then it is input output operation. If it is low, then it is memory operation. So your memory read, memory operation, write operation, and your input output read and input output write operations, they form with the help of this IO M bar and read bar and write bar combinations. Suppose if you are doing memory read operation, then this signal will go low and this signal will go low. So it will be memory read operation. If you are doing memory write operation, then this will go low and this will go low. Rest all will be high. And if you are doing input output read operation, then this will be high, this will be low. So, and how the status signals they matter, we'll see with this particular table. Now let's say your machine cycle is, there are different machine cycles. One is the opcode fetch. Opcode fetch cycle is there in almost all instructions of microprocessor, because it is the very first machine cycle which is fetching the opcode. That means which is fetching the instruction code. So opcode fetch has to be there. And for opcode fetch, what are the status of these signals? Your IOM bar should be low. S1 and S0, these two status signals should be high, and RD bar signal should be low. This is for the opcode fetch cycle. Then for memory read cycle, because it is memory read, because it is read operation, memory operation, that's why IOM bar should be low, because it is M bar. So it will be active when this will be low. So because you are dealing with memory operation, it should be low. And what should be the status of S1, S0? Status of S1, S0 should be 10. And because it is read operation, so your read bar signal should be low. Then you have memory write cycle. In memory write cycle, because it is related to memory, so IOM bar should be low. And because it is write operation, so write bar should be low. And what about status signals? S1, S0 combination should be 0 and 1. When you are dealing with input output read operation, then because it is input output operation, so IOM bar should be high. And because it is read operation, so your read bar should be low. And for read operation, S1 S0 combination is 1 0. So here also S1 S0 combination is 1 0. So 1 1 0 and read bar 0 will form your IO read operation. When you are doing with IO write operation, then input output this will go high because it is IO operation, and for write the combination of S1 and S0 is 0 1. So here also it should be 0 1, and because it is write operation, so that's why your write bar signal should go low. So these are the signal status signals, control and status signals for IO write operation. Now when it is interrupt acknowledge cycle, then when we'll see interrupt, that time we'll see what is interrupt acknowledge. When you are acknowledging, when microprocessor is acknowledging the interrupt, then IOM bar should be high, S1 S0 combination should be high, and INTA bar should be low. INTA bar pin is interrupt acknowledge pin, and it should be low. So next is halt cycle. Halt cycle means you are halting when you are using the instruction halt, or you are halting the microprocessor. Then that time your S1 S0 goes low, and all the input output and M bar is Z, that is high input impedance state. So it is not high or it is not low, it is high input impedance state. In halt you are not doing any input output operation, or you are not doing any memory operation. So if it is high, then it would be memory IO operation. If it is low, then it would be memory operation. But because halt is not related to input output operation, and halt is also not related to memory operation, that's why it is Z, high input impedance. This particular signal goes into high input impedance state. When you are doing with hold cycle, in hold cycle also IOM bar is high input impedance state, that is Z, and S1 S0 can be anything. It is don't care means it can be anything, 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1, whatever maybe. X can be 1, X can be 0. Yeah, my net has disconnected. I'm just rejoining it. Yeah, sorry, am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, my net was disconnected. So let me share once again this particular. Yeah. So all this, when we'll see DMA operation, that time we'll see hold operation. And reset, when we reset the microprocessor, then that time this is don't care, this is Z, as good as your hold condition. But here INTA bar goes high. It is not, the reset is not the interrupt operation. So that's why it is not interrupt acknowledge. So when we'll see all these particular things, you should know that like what is the meaning of this particular S1 S0 combination of S1 S0. So now is it clear to you that how this is forming the combinations to form different machine cycles in opcode fetch, input output, and memory operations, memory read write operations. We have already seen addressing modes. So now we'll see now memory interfacing. How do we interface memory with microprocessor? Because we know that microprocessor is having only its instruction set. You can connect external RAM, you can connect external EEPROM. So how do we connect this external EEPROM and RAM? That is called memory interfacing, or it is memory mapping. So let's say, suppose if because it is having 16-bit address, that means you can go up to 000 hex to FFFF hex. But if you do not want to connect all these memories, if you want to, let's say we'll take one small example. Let's say you want to connect a RAM of 256 bytes and EEPROM also of 256 bytes. Then how will you connect these two microprocessor? So what we do generally, because we are talking about memory operation, so your memory read signal should be low for memory read operation, because in EEPROM you cannot write, you can only read. So when you are interfacing EEPROM, you have to take care that memory read bar signal should be low, then only you will be able to access EEPROM. But when you are working with RAM you can write or you can read. So accordingly your read write signal, or accordingly your memory read and memory write signal should be low in case of RAM. Now how to decide that whether we are exactly accessing 256 bytes or not, that we have to do with the help of that mapping we have to do. So we have a 16-bit address from A0 to A15, and let's say whatever may be of, let's say suppose if you want to connect 4 RAMs and 1 EEPROM, or if you want to connect only EEPROM, or else you want to connect 2 EEPROMs and 1 RAM, then whatever may be the case, 0000 is for EEPROM. Your RAM cannot start from 0000 hex. It is always that EEPROM is connected from 0000. So if you have 2 EEPROMs, then first EEPROM will be, one EEPROM will be connected from 0000 hex address, and another EEPROM will be connected from wherever the first EEPROM ends. But it is nowhere that RAM will start from 0000 hex. Why? Because you generally you store your system program in EEPROM, so it is readable. You do not overwrite onto that particular program. So we expect that whenever we start our system, the system program should be executed first, so that all your operations will be in control. Because suppose if you have 8085 system, when you switch on the 8085 kit or system, then immediately display comes. How this happens? This happens because there is some system program stored in EEPROM. So whenever you switch on the kit or you switch on the system, very first address which it accesses 0000 hex. Program counter very first goes to 0000 hex. So here it finds a system program and it starts executing from that particular memory location. Hence you should not connect your RAM anytime your RAM from 0000 hex. Always your EEPROM should be given the priority to connect from 0000 hex. Is it clear? Is it clear to you? Yeah, who has raised the hand? Please. Is it clear whatever I am explaining? Sakshi?
मैम एक बार प्लीज फिर से रिपीट कर दीजिए.
When which part? This connection part? You are interfacing.
Yes, ma'am.
You want to interface memory to 8085. So memory means it can be read write memory or it can be EEPROM, only read memory. So if you want to connect EEPROM and RAM to 8085 microprocessor, then it is always that 0000 hex address is assigned to EEPROM. You cannot connect RAM to 0000 hex. Why you cannot connect RAM? Because whenever you switch on your system or any device, then the first place which program counter takes is 0000. There you have your system program. System program means, suppose if you are putting your 8085 kit on, then you get the welcome message or you get some message on the kit, the very first display on the kit. So how this happens on the display? Because some program is written in the EEPROM of microprocessor connected to microprocessor. So that's why it, whenever you start your kit, it starts from 000 hex and it starts executing the program from that particular place. So whatever your system programs are there, like you welcome message, etc., so how it appears, because it is stored into the EPROM, and your EPROM is connected to 0000 hex, and that's why the execution immediately starts from 0000 hex, and hence you get all those things, system software. So that's why you should not connect your RAM first. Always you have to connect your EPROM from 0000 hex memory location. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So now we'll take one example, that you have to connect 256 bytes of RAM and you have to connect 256 bytes of EPROM. These are two different chips. These are two different ICs which you want to interface with 8085 microprocessor. Because it is memory operation, that's why your memory bar signal should be low. And if it is read operation, then MEM-R bar signal should be low. If it is write operation, then MEM-W bar signal should be low. So now what is 256 means? 256 means how many bits it is?
Ma'am, 8-bit.
8 bit.
I mean FF.
Yeah,
FF
00 to
hex.
FF, 00 to FF. So when your program is capacity is asked you to 256 bytes, that means it should vary from 0000 to 00FF, isn't it? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Then it is asked to show what is the status of this A0 to A15 lines. 0000 means this is all, 10 means this nibble is 0, so all fours are 0. Then this is another nibble, so this nibble is also 0. This is another nibble, so this is 0, all zeros. And for 00FF it is, F means all ones, this F means all ones, and this 0 means all zeros, and this 0 means all zeros. So understood? Your address should vary for EPROM. Your address lines A0 to A7 should vary from 00 to 111111, isn't it? Understood?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, and let's say your RAM which you want to connect is given, is to be connected from 0700 address to 07FF address. Why this is 00 to FF? Because RAM is also asked to you for 256 bytes. So this should be 00 and this should be FF. But it is asked to you that your RAM should be connected from address, should start from address 0700. So 0700 256 bytes will go to 07FF. So it is asked that your EPROM should be from 00000 to 00FF, and your RAM should be from 0700 to 07FF. So one thing is common, that your A0 to A7 lines are changing from 000 to 1111, all. Even it is EPROM, even it is RAM. Rest all combinations we have to decide. For EPROM, all these bits are 0, A8 to A15. But for RAM, because your address is 07, 07 means this is 0, so all 4 bits are 0, and this is 7 means 0111. Understood? Is
Yes,
it clear?
ma'am.
07 means second nibble is 7. 7 means 0111. So in case of EPROM, it was these 3 signals were 000, and in case of RAM, these 3 signals are 111. So you, when you design your interfacing, what you do, we make use of 328 decoder. You all know what is 328 decoder is doing? You all know what is
Yes,
328
ma'am.
decoder is doing? What is 328 decoder is doing? It is having 3 inputs, A, B, C, and these 3 inputs vary from 000 to 1111. So when this is 000, your this output goes low. Rest all are high. Understood? When this is 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, then your second output goes low and rest all are high. You know the table of like if there are 3 bits, then how do you change the 3 bits? You change the 3 bits. Let me share another also, like the screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see this screen also? Can you see this screen?
2 8 डिकोडर वाली स्क्रीन दिख रही है.
अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है, वही दिख रही है. ओके. Change the. So you know this is like, suppose if it is 0 0 0 combination, then this will go low. If this is 1 0 0 combination, then this will go low. When this is 0 1 0, then this will go low, rest all will be high. When all are ones, then your last one will be low, rest all will be high. This you all know about 3 to 8 decoder. This is 13874 IC. You all know about 3 to 8 decoder? Anybody can answer?
Yes, ma'am.
आप लोग एक बार पढ़ लेना फिर भी.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, I cannot draw
Okay, ma'am.
this. When 3 to 8 decoder, this IC is 74LS138. 74LS138. When this it is having 3 input signals and it is having 8 output lines. But output lines, out of 8 output lines, at a time only 1 output line is low. And which output line should be low, that is decided by this the combination of these 3 signals. If all are 0 0 0, then this will be low. When all are 1 1 1, then this will be low, rest all will be high. When this is 0 0 1, then this will be low, rest all will be high. So your combination will vary from 0 0 0 to 1 1 1 1. 8 states will be there. So that's why 8 output, out of 8 output, only 1 output will be low, and that is depending upon these 3 signals. So because we want to connect our RAM from, because we want to connect our EEPROM from 00000 to 00FF. So your A7, why we connected A8, A9 and A10 signals over here? Because these signals will vary, and according to these signals, your output will vary. And what we want, when it is EEPROM, then A8, A9 and A10 should be A8, A9 and A10 should be 000, and for RAM it should be, yeah, and for RAM it should be 1 1
1 1 1
1 1.
1 1 1.
Yes,
One.
and rest all are 0 0 0. So let's say, suppose if my combination of A8, A9 and A10 is 0 0 0, then which output will go low? This output will go low, O0. So O0 will go low and rest all will be high. So where should I connect this particular line? I should connect this particular line to EEPROM, because for EEPROM A8, A9 and A10 are 0. So when these 3 signals are 0, only this output is going low, rest all are high. So that's why we have to connect this particular output line to chip select signal of EEPROM. So chip select signal is active low. That means here it should be low. So when it will be low, this will be low only when these 3 signals are 0 0 0 0. And we want that these 3 signals should be 0 0 for EEPROM. So we are connecting this particular line to EEPROM chip select. And simultaneously, where we want that these 3 signals should be high for RAM. So when these 3 signals should be high, which line will go low? This particular line will go low, rest all will be high. So where we are connecting this line? We are connecting this line to chip select of RAM, because for RAM we want the address 0700 to 07FF, and for that your A8, A9 and A10 should be high. So whenever this will be low, then only RAM will be selected. Whenever this will be low, then only EEPROM will be selected. And these lines are flexible because it is 8-bit RAM and it is 8-bit EEPROM, 256 bytes. So your A0 and A7 lines are free lines. It can vary from 00 to FF for 256 bytes. And because in case of EEPROM you only read, so that's why read bar signal is connected to MEM bar R bar signal. And because your RAM can be read or write, so your MEM W bar signal is connected over here. So whenever this is low read bar signal, then your EEPROM is read. Whenever this is high read bar signal, then your RAM is read. Whenever write bar signal is low, then you can write onto the RAM, and because we don't write onto the EEPROM, so that's why there is no write bar signal over here. And data lines are, because it is 8-bit memory, so data lines are D0 to D7 for this and D0 to D7 for 256. They are connected together. So now rest part. This particular 74LS32138 decoder is having 3 enable signals. So whenever you do active low to this particular enable and active low to this particular enable and active high to this particular enable, then only this IC will work according to the input. If these signals are not in proper order, then your 328 decoder will not work. So what we do, we want that when we have seen this, all these lines are 00, whether it is EEPROM or whether it is RAM. A11 to A15 are compulsorily 00 in case of this particular two ICs. So what we have done, we have connected A11 and A12 to one particular NAND gate. What is this NAND gate is doing? NAND gate is having inverted inputs. And what is the truth table of NAND gate? When both the signals are 00, then output is 1. And when both the signals are, when any one of the signal is, when both the signals are 1, then output is 0. This is the truth table of NAND gate. So active low signals means it is in a bubble over input means it is inverted. So when it will be inverted, when A11 and A12 are 00, then it will be inverted and 11 will be available over here. So when both the inputs of NAND gate are 11, then what is the output? Output is 0. So you have connected this to this particular enable. So it is compulsory that to activate this particular decoder, this should be low. And when this will be low, when only your A11 and A12 are low. So understood? Then again this second one is active low. So this should be low. And to get this low, this should be A13 and A14 must be low. And this is active high enable. So here it should be 1. And how 1? When 1 will be available over here, this should be 0. So 0 means it will be 1 over here, inverted input. And at this place 1 means at inverter output it will be, what is it? This is not an inverter, this is buffer. Because there is no bubble. There is no bubble over here. If it is a bubble, then it is not gate. But when it is not buffer, then it is, when it is not bubble, then it is buffer. Buffer means
what is in input that is present in output.
If it is not an inverting buffer, then whatever is in input that is present at the output. But then whatever is in input that should be available at output, then why do we need buffer? वो तो वैसे भी connect करके मिल जाएगा.
मैम वैसे करने पर अगर वहां पर हमें, क्योंकि ये वैल्यू A15 की 0 होनी चाहिए, इसलिए हम यहाँ पर बफर लगाएंगे. अगर ये A15 1 हो गया तो भी ये डायरेक्ट इनेबल हो जाएगा, जो कि रोम के लिए कंडीशन सुटेबल नहीं होगी.
नहीं, बट व्हाई वी आर यूजिंग बफर? हम इसको परमानेंटली ग्राउंड कर देना A15 को. परमानेंटली ग्राउंड नहीं, परमानेंटली 5 वोल्ट पे वो इन्वर्टर लगा दे सीधे सीधे. जैसे ये दिस इज बबल्ड मींस इट इज इन्वर्टर. सो इन्वर्टर के बाद में बफर लगाया है. क्यों लगाया होगा?
टाइम
हाँ, who is answering? Rachin? Rachin is answering.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
why do we use buffer? बोलो बेटा.
टाइम डिले के लिए.
No, not time delay. We want to raise the signal strength. Buffer, what buffer does? Buffer is raising your signal strength. You know this? So that your signal is not lost. It is raising the signal. It is raising the signal strength. So that's why what we do, because this is why do we use this particular NAND gates? Hello? हाँ सुरजीत, भिजवा दी ना दोनों, एक पे वो AKT वाली फाइल पे सर से फॉरवर्ड करा लिया ना. ठीक 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 ठीक. ओके ओके, थैंक यू. हाँ. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
So why we were talking that we could have used inverter alone. If we would have used inverter, then if it is 0, then only it will be 1, and 1 we wanted 1 over here. But we have used inverter along with buffer. Why we have used inverter along with buffer? Because we are raising the signal strength so that your signal should not lost in between. So you understood why we have done this particular configuration. We have done this particular configuration because we wanted A11 and A15 to be 000 for RAM also and for EPROM also. And unless until you make your this thing enable signals proper in proper condition, your 328 decoder will not work. And to work with this decoder, we have put this particular condition. And now whatever we will give on A8 to A8, A9 and A10, according to that your output will go low. When all these three are low, then your O0 will be low. When all these bits are high, then your O7 will be low and rest all will be high. So we wanted the same case for your 256 bytes RAM and 256 bytes EPROM. So did you understand this mapping?
Yes, ma'am.
Suppose you take the example, your assignment is that we have taken 256 bytes of RAM and 256 bytes of EPROM. But you have to interface 1 kilobyte of RAM and 2 kilobyte of EPROM. Understood? Have you understood the question? All of
Yes,
you
ma'am.
have understood the question. You have to interface 1 kilobyte of RAM and 2 kilobyte of EPROM. Okay, so this will change. This will also change. This will also change because now your capacity of EPROM and RAM is changed. You have to interface 1 kilobyte of RAM and 2 kilobyte of EPROM. So any problem with this? I will share this note so you will understand that properly. So we were talking about some cycles. Last time we have seen one cycle, how memory write cycle and how memory read cycle looks like. But like what happens with these particular cycles. Let's say we will take one example of memory read cycle. So memory read cycle, your clock is always like this in low to high, high to low kind of. So one cycle, one T state is T1, another T state is T2, and another T state is T3. So this is 1 clock period, 1 clock period, 1 clock period. Now for memory read cycle, your memory address is available on this particular lines. Let's for this particular thing, your AD0 to AD7. First, it is high for address. Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
So we were talking about memory read cycle. Can you see this particular page?
Yes, ma'am.
So it is when we talk about memory read cycle, your first AD0 to AD7 for first state always it is address, and for next it is data. And who does this job of separating this demultiplexing? This is done by ALE. And when we talk about memory read cycle, your IOM bar signal should go low. And because it is a read cycle, so your read bar signal should go low. And because it is not a write operation, and when we talk about memory write cycle, this IOM bar should be low because it is memory operation. Your read bar signal will go low, and your memory write bar signal will also go low. So this is clear to you. This is memory read signal. This is read bar signal. This is write bar signal. This is memory write bar signal. So this should be low, and when it goes low, it goes after one T state. So this is how your timing diagram of memory read cycle and memory write cycle looks like. So when we have seen memory interfacing, now we'll see input output interfacing. Or shall we continue this tomorrow, input output interfacing? Or shall we do it now? It is very similar to the first memory read operation. We have seen that you are able to listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Any problem with this? You start writing your
Ma'am,
attendance
एक
in
problem.
chat box. हाँ, yeah.
मैम प्रीवियस असाइनमेंट जो आपने दिया अभी 1 किलोबाइट ऑफ रैम एंड 2 किलोबाइट ऑफ ईप्रोम मेमोरी इंटरफेस करने के लिए, देन मैम लाइक 256 बाइट्स में अगर हम उसे इंटरफेस कर रहे हैं तो यहाँ पर अगर हम डेटा लाइंस देखें तो 2 टू द पावर 8 यानी कि यन की वैल्यू जो है वो 8 आ रही है। और जब हम 1 किलोबाइट की बात कर रहे हैं तो यहाँ पर यन की वैल्यू 10 आ रही है।
वो एड्रेस लाइंस के लिए, राइट? 10 आ रही है तो A0 to A9 लाइंस।
हाँ,
A0 to A9 लाइंस।
मैम यस मैम वो तो है, बट अगर हम 2 किलोबाइट कर रहे हैं तो ये वैल्यू सीधे लगभग 2 गुनी हो जा रही है, और जबकि 8085 में एड्रेस लाइंस 16 ही है।
हाँ, तो 16 है तो 2 किलोबाइट्स के लिए 16 में 64K हो गया ना। 16 एड्रेस लाइंस मतलब 2 raised to 16 मतलब 64K, और आपको उसमें से सिर्फ 1K और 2K ही कनेक्ट करना है ना?
ओके मैम, थैंक यू मैम।
यस मैम। So you have to form, like for RAM it should be A0 to A9 and for EEPROM it should be A0 to A10. तो आपका ये क्रिएटिविटी है कि आप 328 डिकोडर को किस तरीके से इनपुट दोगे, कौन से इनपुट दोगे, A8 A9 A10 दोगे, A9 A10 A11 दोगे, या क्या दोगे इनपुट, ये आप पे डिपेंड करता है कि आप उसको किस तरीके से इफेक्टिवली यूज करोगे। अंडरस्टूड? So
yes,
we'll see this also. Let's say we will see shortly this input output also, because suppose if your address is 8-bit input output address, because in instruction and out instruction it uses 8-bit address. So let's say suppose if your address device, whatever device you have connected, output device or input device, whether it is having 82 hex address. Now 82 hex means when you write like this, what is A7 comes to be 1 and A1 is 1, so this forms 82. So you want your A1 to be 1 and A7 to be 1, rest all should be 0. And because it is input output operation, so your IO bar signal should be activated. So when we connect 328 decoder, because we want 82, when I have connected here A0, A1 and A2, so A0, A1 and A2, what should be A0, A1 and A2? A0, A1 and A2 are 0, 1, 0. Understood? For 82 it is 0, 1, 0. Have you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So 0, 1, 0, when I will connect over here 0, 1, 0, then which output will be low? For 0, 1, 0, O2 will be low. Rest all will be high. So here I will connect my device. Whatever output device I want to connect, I will connect over here. And why I have used this particular gate over here, and gate, why I have used this, because I want to connect with same address is there for output device also, and same address is there for input device also. So who will separate this? IO bar signal will separate this. If it is IO read bar signal, then it will be input device. IO read bar signal, then it will be for same address, it will be input device. And when it is IO W bar signal, then for the same address, it will be output device, which is enabled. So I have connected over here A0, A1 and A2. Now rest combinations I have to decide. And what should be my A7? My A7 should be compulsorily high for 82 address. So here I have not connected any inverter or nothing. I have directly connected A7 to enable. You can connect over here simple buffer. Simple buffer can do, but you don't have to use inverter because you want A7 to be 1. So whenever it is 1, then only this will be high, and rest all you want low, so you have connected like this. So whenever this will be low, then only this will go low, and then only your decoder will be enabled. And when your input status of decoder is 0, 1, 0, then your O2 is low, and when your O2 is low, then your 82 address will be accessed. And when you want to access output, then you have to connect IOW bar signal. And when you want to access 82 hex device, which is input, then you want to have IOR bar low. So is it clear to you? Input output interfacing and memory interfacing. So can you do input output interfacing for address F3 hex? This is your assignment. Have you written, all of you have written your attendance?
मैम ये स्लाइड प्लीज जो है हम
हाँ,
लोगों को शेयर कर दीजिएगा.
मैं आज भेज देती हूँ. कल वाला
Okay,
भी
ma'am.
भेज
Thank
दूंगी.
you.
कल वाला भी भेज दूंगी मैं. Okay, so shall I end the meeting now?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, you put your cameras on. Keep smiling. Smiling doesn't cost anything, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So good. I have taken your snapshots. Those who have put their camera on, I could see Sunita, Rachin, Tushar, Nur Ahmed. Good. Yeah, okay, fine. I could see many of you. Okay, so have you understood? You go through this. I will send the notes to today only, right now, to your WhatsApp group. Then you will understand more. You have to interface 1 kilobyte of RAM, 2 kilobyte of EEPROM, and in input-output interfacing, you have to interface the address F3 hex. So we'll end the meeting now. Take care.